Welcome everyone. That's great to have you here today. Today we are going to see about the topic MAC and the functions of MAC. So let's get started. MAC, Media Access Control, is a unique identifier assigned to the network hardware of devices like computers, smartphones, and routers. It helps manage how devices communicate with each other over a network, especially in wireless networks like Wi-Fi. In a more simple terms, the MAC address is like a home address for devices on the internet. It tells the network where to send data, ensuring that the right device receives the correct information. Every network device has its own MAC address and a unique MAC address, which is usually hard coded into the hardware. Next, MAC address. MAC address is like a unique ID number for every device that connects to a network, such as a computer, phone, or a router. This address is built into the device network card called the network interface card or the NIC and used to identify the device on the network. A typical MAC address is 48 bits long and is written as 12 character in hexadecimal number system using the digits 0 to 9 and A to F letters. It is split into 6 groups of 2 characters each, like as shown in the PPT. The first 3 groups, that is the first 6 characters, are assigned to the manufacturer of the device. This means they are the same for all devices made by that company. The last 3 groups, that is the remaining 6 characters, are specific to the individual device, helping to distinguish one device from the other, even if they are made by the same company. So in short, a MAC address is a way for networks to recognize and communicate with individual devices by giving each one a unique identifier. Next, there are few types of MAC addresses, each serving a different purpose in the network. First one is the unicast MAC address. It is the most common type. It's a unique address assigned to a single device. When a device sends data using the unicast MAC address, it's sending the data to one specific device on the network. Next is multicast MAC address. This address is used when the device wants to send data to multiple devices at once, but not all the devices on the network. It's like sending messages to a specific group of device rather than everyone. Next is a broadcast MAC address. This address is used to send data to all devices on the network. It's like sending messages to everyone at the same time. So now let's see the various functions of the MAC. The first one is the frame formation. Frame formation is a process of packaging data into chunks called frames so that it can be sent across the network. Think of it like wrapping a letter in an envelope to send through the mail. The envelope contains all the necessary information for the letter to reach the right person and for them to read it correctly. So the MAC layer makes sure that the data is organized in a way that the receiver knows exactly where to start reading. The structure of the frame helps the receiver understand the data and know where it's going. This ensures the data gets the right place and is understood properly, so the sender and receiver can communicate without issues. So the frame formation is all about making sure the information is packaged correctly to avoid confusion during transmission. So next is the flow control. Flow control at the MAC layer is like managing the speed at which data is sent between devices to keep things running smoothly. It helps avoid situations where too much data is sent too quickly, which can cause network congestion or buffer overflow. So the flow control makes sure that data is sent at a manageable pace. It prevents overloading the network or the devices. This ensures that devices can handle the data without crashing or slowing down. So to send data at a manageable speed, we use different protocols like random access protocol, control access protocol, and channelization protocol, and there are various subdivisions in that. By using these protocols, we will be managing the speed of the data. So the flow control is all about sending data at the right speed to keep the network efficient and avoid problems. Then another most important function of the MAC layer, error correction. Error correction in the MAC layer helps us make sure that the data sent over the network is correct. Sometimes error happens during transmission because of noise and interference, which can mess up the data. To prevent this, the MAC layer adds a special check called the CRC, cyclic redundancy check, at the end of each data packet to detect if any part of data was corrupted. If errors are found, the system can correct them so the data stays accurate and reliable. This reduces the need to resend data, making the network work more smoothly. Then we have frame synchronization. Frame synchronization makes sure that the sender and receiver know exactly where each data packet begins and ends during transmission. This is important because if the timing is off, the data can get mixed up. And there is something called full synchronization. Full synchronization means that all devices on the network are in sync with each other, agreeing on when to send and when to receive data. This is especially important to avoid collisions when two devices send data at the same time and to make communication more efficient. So all these functions work together to make sure data can be sent between devices on a network without any problems. They help prevent collisions, fix any errors that might happen, and make sure everything runs smoothly, even when many devices are using the same connection.